The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views or ideas of the staff or management of KWSH or the 110 Broadcast Group.
Good morning and welcome to the Seminole Nation radio program. I'm your host, Edwin Marshall, and I'm joined in here today by Communication Director Bo Whitekiller and Mr. Jeremy Foltz.
High five.
All right.
Woo!
All right. Hey.
Hangover.
Hey, I know we got Seminole Nation Day hangover, post-Seminole Nation Day here today. Hey, Bo, we're going to have a lot to talk about regarding Seminole Nation Day, but I'm going to start off by reading the church meetings for this coming week like we usually do. Momento gira hayu ilaga to nomade. Seminole dalwa nomad nagi okil kizir nagi onaka uzaka to nomad. Chimo kil kizir hanagi irundos. Moment hayu nagi okil kizia to nomade. Moment anio nagi amokil kizir puira rozesh konskenoad. Able Mo Kitchenad Bo Whitekiller 405-382-1010. Maui Kitchenad Ezmokil Kizbid as Weebies. Okay, we're going to get started with the church meetings, Bo. And, every week that I announce these church meetings, I'm not always real sure where all the churches are. I know that the churches we announce are spread all over the Seminole and Creek nations, and even a little bit over into the Cherokee Nation, a little bit over into even one church way out in Anadarko. Mm-hmm. So, anyway,
so you know where Butler Creek is.
Well, I think somebody texted me and said they thought it's at Octahaw, somewhere up between Shakota and Muskogee.
I thought that was the name of a song.
Okay, anyway, Butler Creek heads up the list this week. They're having their meeting this coming weekend. Also, Cedar Creek, Eufaula, which is south of Seminole, between here and Kanawha. Grave Creek Baptist Church, and that's over near Hitchity. Hitchity, if you don't know, is kind of out in the middle of Morris and Shakota, and way back in there somewhere. All right, and then Greenleaf Baptist Church, which is west of Okemah. Hijiti Methodist Church is north of Seminole. New Yucca Indian Baptist Church is east of Okemah. And Randall Mission Baptist Church is northwest of Henrietta. Sand Creek Indian Baptist Church is east of Wetumpka. My good buddy Harry Anderson is a pastor over there. Sand Springs Baptist Church near Gore. That's one of those down in Cherokee country. Tallahassee Methodist Church north of Okmulgee. The Wahley Baptist Church, which is north of Dustin. Tokpofka Baptist Church, which is just a little northeast of Calvin. Tocobuchee Methodist Church, which is north of Holdenville. Tuskegee Indian Baptist Church, which is west of Eufaula. And rounding out the list is Wewoka Indian Baptist, sometimes called Wewokoji or Little Wewoka Indian Baptist Church. That's northwest of Yeager. Those are the meetings for this week. If you'd like to get out and visit this week, you're feel free to visit any of these churches. They'd be glad to have you. So, speaking of church, Bo, there was during the Seminole Nation Day, there was a church service Saturday morning, and I understand that people really enjoyed the services there, and they were glad to offer that as well. We had scheduled a guest for this show today, and anything can happen. So we had scheduled Assistant Chief Lewis Johnson, and he did gladly accept to come on, but he sent a note kind of at the last minute. And he said, from the office of the assistant chief, first of all, I want to say what a blessing it was to have a slight cool down for this year's celebration. It was possible because of light rain, cloud cover, overcast skies, and a nice breeze for much of the weekend. This was provided by the Creator, and we are grateful for His blessing. Also, a big medal to all the volunteers and Seminole Nation employees, as well as other umbrella entities of the nation and their staff of HASNOC, SNGE, SNGA, BCR, and SENDOC. The support of the General Council is also appreciated. Both the Chickasaw Nation and Muskogee Creek Nation provide additional support to the Seminole Nation Light Horse to provide strength for security measures. Because of these behind-the-scenes individuals and their long hours served, it definitely contributed to a better experience for all who attended during Seminole Nation Day celebration. Also want to say from my office, and specifically Assistant Chief, how grateful I am to all those who continue year after year returning to the historic Miccosukee mission to enjoy the activities and reunite through good fellowship with our friends and relatives, as well as those new acquaintances that take place each year. As well, all participate together in celebrating the heritage, culture, and hospitality of the great Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. I hope each of you plan on coming back every year. I've already received many suggestions by those who attended this past weekend. They expounded on certain areas that they believe will help make this event even more hospitable and enjoyable for all who attend. Hospitable. The Office of the Assistant Chief takes all of these concerns and suggestions seriously and welcomes additional comments and suggestions on how the Seminole Nation can better serve you during the annual celebration. Once again, Mado to all those who attended this year's 51st Annual Seminole Nation Day celebration. And if you were not able to attend this year, we truly missed your presence and conversation. Sincerely, Lewis J. Johnson, Assistant Chief. And that from the Assistant Chief, Bo. All right.
It's good to see him and out there. He was at the Stomp Dance on Friday night, giving a really good welcome to everybody out there. Really good to see our executive department out there just hanging out there, and even Chief got out there and played some softball.
Yeah, I heard that.
Seemed like every time I turned around, I saw either chief or assistant chief somewhere.
Yeah.
They were busy people this weekend.
Yeah. One thing's for sure, they were somewhere. Hey, listen, we're gonna rehash all that here just a little bit. Right now, let's talk a little bit about our gospel singing dates for 2019. We've had several already, but picking up on October the 5th, Sand Creek Eufaula Baptist Church is having a singing from on the October the 5th, rather, and that's located from Wewoka Junction, 270 and 56. Go 1 mile south, go west to Justice School to the stop sign, and go straight a quarter-mile west on the hill north side of the road. Turn left. Also on October the 12th, Yeager Mission is having a singing at the Holdenville Creek Nation Community Center on East Poplar Street. Then on November the 2nd, Caney Chapel, that's over here west of Wewoka and east of Bowlegs, Veterans Memorial Singing. All veterans welcome. That starts, it doesn't have, 6 o'clock in the evening. Also on December 31st, Mary Lee Clark Memorial Methodist Church, 6:30 p.m. New Year's Eve singing to midnight. That's at 1100 Howard Drive in Del City. Okay, we want to announce this at least one more time. They're having a fundraiser for this baby. It's a GoFundMe, and it's they're raising money for. Let's see, I had the baby's name. Sebastian, yes, is in grave critical ill. The baby's parents are Allison Frazier and Kane Thomas. Grandparents are Misty Splon and Bill and Darlene Sapahoodle. These people are needing help for this baby. So if you'd like to help and you know this family, you're welcome to. We will list that on the Seminole Nation News website, or rather the Facebook page. And also tomorrow night when we broadcast our radio announcements or radio show, we'll also list that on there. All right. Chair aerobics every Tuesday and Thursday, up until August 24th at the Senior Citizens Center. That's in Wewoka. For contact information, call Jordan Harjo at 405-234-5246. Also, water aerobics at Seminole State College every Monday and Wednesday. They have 2 classes from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning and 6:15 to 7:15 in the evening. That goes until November the 6th. That's at Seminole State College. Also, contact Jordan Harjo, 405-234-5246. And the last announcement today, Head Start is still taking applications for Head Start and Early Head Start services for income-eligible tribal and non-tribal children ages 6 weeks to 5 years of age. They offer educational services for children with special needs, kindergarten readiness, nutritious snacks and meals, social services and home visits, health screenings, developmental screenings, and the Pregnant Mothers Program. You can call them at the Miccosukee Mission Center at 405-234-5226.
I got one here, Edwin, that
Okay.
just came up on the email. Attention all Seminole Nation tribal members, deadline for the clothing program applications is September 30th, 2019. Deadline for the clothing program applications are September 30th, 2019. The Seminole Nation Judgment Fund will only accept completed clothing applications. Please read the application and guidelines. Please submit clothing applications at the Judgment Fund office by 5 p.m. on September 30th. By 5 p.m. on September 30th, or by U.S. mail postmarked September 30th, 2019.
If you heard this announcement, please make note of it. But not only that, tell all your family members that have children, because it's important that this word gets out. There is a deadline on this, and we hate to hear anybody say, well, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't hear about it. Especially if your brother or sister knew about it and they didn't tell you.
Deadline to spend clothing funds is October 31st, 2019. Deadline to spend clothing funds is October 31st, 2019. Funds will be removed November 1st, 2019. Always use clothing card as credit purchase only. Always use clothing card as credit purchase only. Mado from the Judgment Fund office.
All right. Thanks, Bo. Hey, we'll be right back, but first we're going to take a little short break here, and we're going to give you, well, actually it's not a break. Jeremy's on the mic with us today. And
The new Rock Springs Indian Baptist Church hymn CD. It's a 2-disc CD.
brand new
Coming
yes.
out, called Istajadi in Yahagada. And so,
What's it called, Jeremy?
Istajadi in Yahagada.
That means Indian songs.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Right there for all of our Facebook viewers. And they're going to be selling the CD for $20. And hot off the press, Mark just received them in the mail today, and they will be coming out pretty soon. Also, the language department, we said that we would have a hymn CD coming out.
Yeah,
we
you
didn't
told
receive
us that
those
last
in.
week. Jeremy,
Yeah.
you said you promised.
I
but-
did put the disclaimer on there that they may be in this weekend, and they were not in.
Marianne
by this
Martha
weekend.
hit me up Saturday. She said, I want my CD.
All right. So they are done. We're just waiting on them to come in, and should be a good CD. It seems like to perpetuate the culture and our language a little bit, and other than that, that was the highlight from the nation.
Oh, okay.
Other than Seminole Nation Days.
Oh, yeah.
Which there was a lot of highlights from that.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a minute here. Also, I want to acknowledge our friends down at the Seminole Quick Stop down at the corner of Highway 9 and 99, the Sinclair station there. Those ladies are always generous to offer anybody that's listening to this broadcast live today a free fountain Coke. That's a free fountain Coke. And if you walk in today and say, I heard it right here on Seminole Nation radio program, they'll give you a free large fountain Coke of your choice. That's at the Seminole Quick Pick, rather. It's Sinclair Station at Highway 99 and 9. Go see Brenda, Christy, or Autumn and tell them you heard it right here on the Seminole Nation radio program.
This Friday, Fall Bazaar at the Seminole Nation Senior Citizen Center, Wewoka, Oklahoma, the Red Roof Building. Friday, September 27th, starting at 9 a.m. That's 9 a.m. Booths are available for $10.
I tell you, that's always a big one. The Fall Bazaar, they started that several years ago. It's grown quite a bit, and man, I tell you, if there's you want to get some fall decorations for your home, or if you just need a secondhand toaster or something like that, man, you're liable to find anything there.
Arts and crafts, baked goods, and food sales. So if you want to get a booth, call 405-257-7257.
257-7257.
Starting at 9 this Friday. Be there.
All right, and then we have an upcoming IHS event. The Wowoka Indian Health Service hosts the 11th annual Pink Party event.
Oh, that's big.
Yep, educating the community about breast cancer. This event will be held on October 10th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Bridge. Registration to the public begins at 12:30.
That's a free event, by the way, Jeremy.
And deadline for reserving booth space is September 30th of 2019. Again, that's going to be at the First Baptist Church, the Bridge, on October the 10th.
That's always a big event, and it's one of the ones that everybody looks forward to every year. That's the cancer survivors thing, isn't it?
And I've got 2 phone numbers here, too.
Okay.
If you want more information, you can call 405-257-7323 or 405-257-7351.
All right. Well, guys, what do you think? What do you think about the festival? I mean, just overall.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
I worked 26 hours of overtime in 3 days.
Well, that's what you do when you're in your line of business, taking pictures and taking interviews and things like that. And I know that you were very busy. There was a lot of people behind the scenes that I think a lot of people that are attending the festival don't realize. All of the volunteers, not only volunteers, but employees that put in extra time to make sure this thing is a success. I didn't put in quite that much time, but I had my share of emceeing the baby pageant last week, and we came up and announced the parade the other day, and I saw a lot of employees out there doing a lot of things. So we want to say we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
To all the volunteers. I saw the guys standing out there in the rain parking cars, and we had a lot of people, a lot of help.
Absolutely. That was one thing that stood out during the State of the Nation address, is that the chief and assistant chief, they gave a lot of shout outs to the maintenance team too. You see a lot of those guys out there working, but just acknowledging those that were in support of, and a big part of this success of Seminole Nation Days.
Oh yeah, it takes people. It takes people, that's for sure.
So if you were out there working and got wet shoes and thank you.
I'll tell you what makes it worth it is when you see the little kids with a big old smile on their face, or you see a tribal member sitting there enjoying themselves, sitting in the shade, talking to other people, and knowing they have a place to go to every year to celebrate their heritage, and celebrate being Seminole. That was great.
I tell you what made me enjoy it was eating that salt meat on Saturday.
You found it, did you?
I found 4 pieces of it. With the fry bread and the talakjati.
Yeah. I walked through the arts and crafts and the demonstration booths, and there was a good display of those as well. A lot of people in it, and it wasn't just Japanese handmade stuff. There was a lot of cultural, and traditional stuff, and a lot of clothing, handmade clothing and patchwork and things like that. And I'll tell you, it was just great, to be out there.
There's a lot of ideas, and we've sent out a questionnaire to our employees here earlier about 3 ups and 3 downs. So everybody out there listening, I'd really like for you to be involved in it, and it'll be coming your way too. But just think about it while it's fresh on your minds. 3 ups, 3 downs for not necessarily downs, but sustains and improves. Where's the 3 things we can sustain about the Seminole Nation Days going forward, and 3 things we can improve with solutions on those improvements, because we only want to make this better. I always feed off the energy off Mike Cisco. I'm going to give a shout out to Mike because he's always been one, just right before Seminole Nation Days kicks off, he's always like, got the biggest smile. And I asked him 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago when I first started, I said, Mike, why are you smiling? You're Seminole Nation Days. He's like, man, I like Seminole Nation Days. I like it. It's the happiest time of the year. So, you feed off energy like that, good things will happen. So, with this questionnaire that's coming out, that's what we're looking for, is good things happening and only getting better. So, encourage your involvement in it.
Him and Lori both. Everywhere I went as well, I saw them. It seemed like they were either breaking up or putting up, tearing down, fixing something, handing out water, sodas. And so shout out to the property department.
Mm-hmm. Before there was actually a full-blown Seminole Nation Day, I remember a long time ago when there was a Seminole Nation softball tournament every year and at the Mission. And at that time, that's about all the events there were, is a softball tournament. And then they started adding events, and it evolved. And the more that it evolved, the more events that were added. And, and now, just like Saturday night, we had a big concert with a lot of people that from the community, not just tribal members, but people from the community. We had the big powwow and had a lot of attendees there. And so there were a lot of events where we drew in a lot of the community, and I think a lot of people. And we also, Bo, we don't want to forget to acknowledge our visitors from the homelands. Yeah, absolutely. Mitchell Cypress and a lot of his tribal members, his princesses, it was in, hey, Miss Indian World, remember that? Hey, right here at Seminole Nation.
Yeah. Mado, Seminole Tribe of Florida. Mado, Seminole Tribe of Florida. You sent your best and your brightest. Appreciate it.
And you brought up softball. We actually have the winners from the fast pitch softball tournament.
All right, great.
So first place we have Kansas Indians. Second place we have the Southeast Indians. And the third place right here in Wetumpka, Oklahoma. The Wetumpka, I'm assuming it's Lumhi, but it's spelled looks like Lamahi.
Oh. And, speaking of winners.
We're all winners, Edwin.
I got a notice a while ago, and I can't. Let's see what I do with it. We had some other.
While you're looking that up, I do have the basketball winners as well. The champions were Prospect, and then the runner-up was Fam Bam.
How about that horseshoes? What were some names we got from the horseshoes?
They were pretty creative with their names. There were some real good challengers with the ringers and stuff, but the ones that won was Team Mike and Gary defeated Team Mitch and Matt. The ringers, I guess, couldn't get a ringer.
Hey, Mark, you sent me some stuff, folks. I can't find it. What?
Here's my favorite statement. I was at the softball fields, and I seen a team get defeated, and they were walking out, headed to the parking lot. And there was a young player there. I heard him say, "Man, that ump made a bad call." And the older player, he's sitting there, he says, "He ain't going to change it now. We're already in the parking lot."
That's funny.
Edwin, I do have that traditional dress here.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
So it looks like 0 to 4 male traditional dress. First place with, looks like Yefki Mac. Yafki Mac. Number 2, Gotcha Haney. Number 3, Totka Haney. 0 to 4 female, Gitoya England. Number 2 or second place, Andy Pepworth. Number 3, Ariana Harjo. Age 5 through 12 male. First place winner was Roman Morel. Second place, Emmanuel Overby. Third place, Kyson Miller. 5 through 12 female, Isabella Larney. Aziza Pepworth. In third place, JC Harjo. Teen female was Kyra Halata. First place. Second place, Eben Watashi. Third place, Abby Billy, and she was one of the princesses of royalty from the Seminole Tribe of Florida.
Right.
And then the adult male was first place. Jake Tiger beat out Rodney Factor for the first place male traditional dress. And the adult female, first place was Serena Slumber. Second place, Kylie Violet. Third place, Dana Miller.
All right, man. It's great to have that many participants in that traditional dress contest, and we also kind of rounded this out Saturday with a dress from the chief, and out there in the arena. I know that there was a lot of people listening to the chief as he gave, basically was kind of like the state of the nation message, and I know that a lot of people were looking forward to that. Also, the little boy stickball game, man, that was a lot of fun. Did you guys watch that?
Sure did.
Yeah,
Saw that from the stage.
Yeah, I tell you, they put on a good show. The little boys did.
I'm not sure who won, but it looked like West was doing pretty good.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, the West is winning everywhere this year. Friday night, they had the ceremonial dances, and they had a good crowd out there as well. Of course, they had to move inside the gymnasium, but they had a pretty good crowd. And right there toward the end, there was a young man from Oklahoma City that led a good song. And old Jeremy, boy, he got out there and got it on.
Jeremy, I tell you what, I'll give a shout out to him during the Nation Days address. He got out there and emceed it, and worked the mic this weekend. So that golden voice started making a name.
Someone said Barry White. I'm not quite sure what they were talking about, though.
Hey, I'll give a shout out to Jake and Rodney for setting up the hunters camp out there at the east side of the arena. They did a really good job out there. I know they had a little cultural preservation set up, so maybe that's something we can expand on in the future, again, something like that.
I think that needs to be addressed, and there needs to be a more formal approach in a organization to doing that, because that represents your culture. And I think that was a good idea on Jake and Rodney's part to get, several years ago there was another man that used to set up a cultural camp like that, Jimmy. I'm sorry, I can't remember his last name, but he travels all over. He used to travel all over the Southeast doing this, but every year he made it a point to be at the Seminole Nation Days to set his camp up. Mm-hmm. And, there's going to be a lot of people that we're not going to be able to mention. Probably people we're overlooking, but everybody did a great job pulling together and having another successful Seminole Nation Days.
I do want to read the winners from the Princess Pageant, Edwin.
Oh, yes.
The new 2019-2020 Miss Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, Kyra Halata, was crowned on September 19th during the Seminole Nation Princess Pageant.
Is that Danita's daughter?
That is.
I believe, yeah.
Yep. And then also Gabriella Factor was named Junior Miss Seminole Nation, and J.C. Ray Harjo won the Little Miss Seminole Nation titles.
Correct me if I'm not correct. Correct me. Kyra has won about every category growing up through the ages, I believe.
She has won every category.
Every category. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. And
that might be a trivia question for one of the new contestants.
Yeah. That might be history. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that anybody ever has won every category like that before.
And a YouTube video is planned on coming out to show the event in its entirety, and will be posted September 26th. So congrats to all the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma royalty.
Yeah, that's great.
Because of you, you're the ambassadors to our nation. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'll tell you what. It's about time to wrap it up. We had looked forward to having a guest on this show, but we weren't sure. Of course, Assistant Chief Johnson became ill at the last moment, couldn't make it. But we'll be back next week for sure, and we will have a guest, I promise you. And
it's not. Y'all like us, don't you? You really do.
Everybody, I can't get through the show without acknowledging or without mentioning Bo's new haircut, his new hairstyle. I love it.
Keep a promise.
All right, we'll be back next week with another edition of the Seminole Nation radio program, Muddo.
Go!